On this video lecture, we will be using structure to implement on our rectangle problem. Let's get started. On this video demonstration, I'm going to show you how to implement structure on our rectangle problem. So on this video demo, I'm going to use the code DSA demo2. Okay, so the code that we used on the demonstration of a function. So let me open it. Okay, so this is the exact code that we used on the demonstration of using functions. Okay, so to compute the area, the perimeter, and to handle the user input. So this time we are going to implement structure. Okay, so we're going to recode it. All right, so let me save this as, so this is already our struct demo05. Okay, .cpp. Okay, so to begin, so definitely since this is using structure, so we have to define our structure, and structure should be defined on the global space. All right, so let me define the structure here. So let me start here. So you've got struct. Okay, let me call that structure rectangle. Okay, and then begin. So the parameters for a rectangle is basically we need double. Okay, say length. Okay, and then say width. All right, so this would be the member variables, as we call it on the structure, and then end. Okay, so struct rectangle, double length, and double width. So we will be using the same function prototypes that we used on the demonstration. So we still have here the void ask user, okay, with two parameters, double and double, get area, double double, and get perimeter, double and double. So the ask user is still using function passing by reference, and these two here, get area and get perimeter, still uses the function passing by values. Okay, so the next thing to do is we need to implement, okay, we need to edit the main function so that it conforms with our structure. Okay, so to do that, so I have to define here a variable whose data type is rectangle. So that would be rectangle. Okay, so let me call it rect. All right, so I don't need this length and width. Okay, so I already have defined it inside our structure. Okay, so let me remove this one. Okay, so next would be the parameters here would be the length and width. Since we have defined the rect to be of data type rectangle, so therefore rect has an access to the length and width there. And to access those, so we could have here something like rect.length. Okay, so let me compile this. Okay, so that you'll have rect.length. Okay, and then rect.width. Okay, so same thing with the get area. On the get area, so to compute for the area, we need the length and the width. So we'll have here rect.length and then rect.width. All right, for the get perimeter, we also need rect.length and then rect.width. Okay, so that's the content of our main function. So we need to edit our function implementations below. Okay. So to do that, let's see. So double get area. Okay, so length and width, area. All right. So length times width, perimeter. Okay. So let's compile this. Okay. So basically, we just have adopted the rectangle structure here. Okay. And we will be passing these values. Okay. So first, take note that the program will execute on the main function. So since we have here a function call, ask user, so that would definitely go to this code here, ask user. So that would implement enter length, enter width. Okay. Since this is function passing by reference, these values here for L and W will be copied to rect.length here and rect.width. So whatever value is set on L and W there, that is the same value referred to rect.length and rect.width. Okay, so let's run this one. All right. So this is our program now. So enter length, say that is 5. Enter width, say that is 2. Okay. So again, let's go back to the main function. So we have defined here a variable whose data type is rectangle. So therefore, rect has an access to the length and the width. And since we call that on the main function via ask user rect.length, rect.width, so it will implement here the ask user function. So what will display on your screen is basically enter length, cnl, okay, that L, take note, is referred to via reference. Okay, the value of L here is also the value rect.length on the structure. Okay, now for double W here, so enter width, that value which is 2 is also the value that is passed on rect.width via referencing, passing by reference. All right, next would be, since we already have the value for the length and the width on our member variables on the rectangle structure there, so the next thing is we can now call the get area function. Now on the get area function, the value referred to as the length and the width will be passed to the get area here, get area function. So the 5 and 2 here will be passed to this function, and that would compute the area. So that's why in here we have cout area, length times width. So you've got 5 times 2, that's 10. Okay, and then go back to the main function, and then we will be implementing now get perimeter. So calling the get perimeter function with the parameters of 5 and 2 here. Okay, so 5 and 2 pass to get perimeter function. The get perimeter function will multiply the length times 2, giving it 10, plus 2 times 2, that is 4. 10 plus 4, you've got 14 there. So see, so we have the same output for the problem, okay, rectangle problem, but with this one, specifically, we use structures. All right, so that's it for this video demonstration. See you on the next video. So we will be implementing the same problem, this time using classes.